Do you need any help reading wiring schematics? This video should help with that. I will be going over a basic electric dryer wiring schematic and show you how to trace out the circuits. Alright, so we're going to be looking at an electric dryer where the conditions are the dryer is plugged in, it's in standby mode, and it's not running. Nothing is running, and the timer is selected to the off position. Here's the schematic of the dryer, and I'm going to pull L1 in and show you the circuit again when the timer is in the off position. This is only L1 side right now. So you can see that L1 comes in through the terminal block, it goes through the light circuit, it continues on and makes its way to the door switch. L1 also makes its way down to timer contact C, and it just sits there because the contacts are in the open position. Now the dryer lamp is not running even though it's got voltage to it because there is no neutral at the load. So you've got to have a neutral at 120 volt load in order for it to cycle. If I were to test this contact to ground, I would have 120 volts. If I were to test this contact to ground, I would have 120 volts. But if I were to test from contact to contact, I would have 0 volts because I have no neutral on this side. Now we're going to bring the neutral into the circuit. Neutral comes in through the terminal block, makes its way through the door switch because the door is in the closed position. It's going to go down and sit on this side of the push to start switch. It's also going to go down to the motor at contact 6M. And now we're going to bring L2 into the circuit. L2 flows down to the 2M connector on the motor. Anytime the unit is plugged in, you're always going to have 120 volts at this connector because there's nothing stopping its path from L2. L2 also makes its way over to contact F at the motor. Now it doesn't jump across the timer between T and F because on this timer switch you can see T and F in the off position is open and T and X is in the closed position. So when the timer is selected to the off position, these two make contact rather than these two. So this is how the circuit looks when the unit is just plugged in, but the timer is in the off position. Okay, now we're going to look at a schematic where the dryer is plugged in. It's still in standby mode, so it's still not running, but we've turned the timer to the time dry position. Say 50 minutes. All we did was turn the timer to the time dry position and it's in standby mode. So here's the same circuit. Now we're going to trace L1 coming in, and I'm going to start with the motor circuit first, and then we'll make our way across the other circuits. So it still comes in through contact C and B, because now C and B is closed contact when it's sitting in the time dry position. It goes through the motor circuit, through the thermal fuse, into the motor through both windings. This is the centrifugal switch, so that's the position it's in. And then L1 makes it to this side of the push to start switch. Okay, now we're going to go across the timer motor. So once it gets to this point, voltage splits off both directions, and L1 is present at the timer motor. Okay, now we're going to go down the heat circuit. Heat circuit A and C is closed now, so voltage is able to travel through the heat circuit, go through all the thermostats, makes its way to the heater. It splits off both directions. L1 is sitting at contact X at the timer, and it also goes through the heater because there's nothing stopping it from going through the heater, making its way to contact 1M at the motor. Now we're going to bring neutral in. Nothing with neutral changes because neutral is not having to cross any timer contacts, so nothing happened there. Now we're going to bring in L2 and see if anything changed with L2. L2 still sits at the 2M connector. It does not cross because the centrifugal switch is still in the open position. But now L2 goes this direction, and now that it's in time dry position, contacts T and F are closed, and now L2 is able to make it to this side of the timer motor. So that turns the timer motor on and activates it because this is a 240 volt component and it has L1 and L2 present. So there is 240 volts at this timer motor. So even though the dryer is not operating right now, because we're in the time dry position, this timer motor is still operating. And that's why anytime that you're in the time dry position when the unit is plugged in, you can always hear the timer ticking because it's getting voltage at that time when you turn it to that position. Here I forgot to demonstrate the L1 flowing through the thermostat heater circuit, which makes its way to the temperature selector. Okay, now we're going to be showing the schematic with the dryer plugged in. The dryer is now running and the timer is still on the time dry position. Once you have pushed the push to start switch, you can see that the neutral has carried on to the main motor winding, which then separates the centrifugal switch contact and opens the connection to the start winding. So now the start winding is not energized, the main winding is continuously running, and this also allows neutral to complete to the thermostat heater. The thermostat heater is built into the operating thermostat, so as the thermostat heater heats up, it opens and closes the operating thermostat to cycle the heater on and off. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this helped. Tune in your wiring schematic skills.